Sunday, May 28th, 1989. In Chatham, New Brunswick, police arrive on the scene of a house fire. They soon discovered that this was no accidental blaze.
The violence that took place during that assault was amazing. There was very little doubt that we're looking at a crime scene.
Just one man basically was holding this whole province hostage.
In one of the largest manhunts in Canadian history, there are those who chronicle the investigation up close, on film, on paper, and on tape. They are the public's first witness. Through their lens, they capture our darkest chapters of crime. In the spring of 1989, residents go about their daily routines in Chatham, New Brunswick. Located on the Miramichi River, Chatham sits in a region of Atlantic Canada, renowned for its natural setting and its strong sense of community.
The Miramichi is a very placid, beautiful part of the world. This is a part of the world where people don't normally lock their doors. You leave your keys in your car in your driveway.
It's a community really for a long time that had lived with sort of unlocked doors and fairly secure in their homes.
But in 1989, that sense of security comes under attack when a series of horrendous crimes gives way to an unprecedented wave of terror.
It was a time that I hope to God is never duplicated in our lifetime again.
Sunday, May 28th. The day is winding down for Annie and Nina Flam. The two elderly sisters-in-law live in adjoining duplexes in Chatham, which is attached to a small grocery store that Annie has run for 50 years.
And we all knew the Flams. I mean, they were had a long history here in the Miramichi, very well-respected people.
Annie was sort of everyone's great aunt. If you asked people about Annie Flam's store, it was, yeah, I remember going in there when I was a kid.
11 p.m. Neighbors see Annie locking up her store. Upstairs, the lights remain on as her sister Nina reads in bed. Both women are unaware that a third person has just entered their home. Several hours later, a resident walks the dark streets. As he nears the Flam store, he spots a fire raging upstairs. Within minutes, firemen burst inside and find Nina near the back door, badly burned, but still alive.
At first, of course, everyone thought it was a fire. Then it became very obvious it wasn't a fire, it was a fire to cover up a crime.
She had been beaten quite severely. Absolutely remarkable that she lived. Given the beating that she had gone through.
Nina is rushed to the hospital while firefighters battle the flames and search for Annie. With indications of an assault, police are summoned to the scene. Arriving early that morning are Dan Chaison and Ronald Godin, two forensic experts from nearby Bathurst.
The scene was completely secured, roped off as such. The center of the roof was completely burned out. There was still the smell of burnt material in the air and so forth.
The two men enter, looking for evidence of a crime. Burn patterns near the staircase suggest arson.
Something very hot, something happened here. And that in your minds, you're saying to yourself, that could be one of an area we'd have to really look in for a set fire.
We walked up the staircase, being very careful because there was a lot of structural damage. So that whole area of the apartment was totally damaged, a lot of debris.
In the upstairs bedroom, a terrible sight. Unlike her sister Nina, Annie did not escape the inferno.
We saw a piece of knee sticking out, burnt knee, but you couldn't tell it was a knee, it was like just a bone coming out through some of the ceiling tiles that had collapsed. And slowly we photographed everything inside. Then we started removing layers of debris to unbury the body. And as we were going down, we finally had the first vision, the first view of Annie laying on her bed. The heat had done an awful lot of damage.
I mean, everything had burned right down to the ground, so all that was left was the spring and the bed frame.
While investigators examine the scene, Nina Flam lies in the hospital. Although barely conscious, she begins to speak to police.
She was able to give us some description and information as to what transpired on her side of the duplex.
The previous night, Nina was in bed when she heard the sound of footsteps coming up the stairwell outside her door.
She recalls someone bursting into her bedroom, grabbing her, throwing her on the bed.
The man binds Nina's hands and holds a knife to her throat, demanding to know where the sisters keep their money. After ransacking the apartment, the man then beats and sexually assaults Nina Flam.
When he's done sexually assaulting her, he tucks her into the bed, almost gently, and sets a fire and leaves.
The bed had been set on fire. The closet had been set on fire. The door had been shut. She must have gone through hell. Can you picture in your mind being tied to a bed, someone trying to rape you, someone setting fire right beside you on your bed, you see a fire burning in your closet, and the guy just walks out and closes the door, and he's gone. The terror that must be going through.
Although badly injured and left for dead, Nina manages to untie herself before the fire and smoke overwhelm her.
She somehow managed to stagger through the fire, down the stairwell to the back stairs, where she basically collapsed.
Once examined, the body of Nina's sister Annie reveals a similar violent assault.
Annie was killed in her bed, and the same method of operation. You tuck the sheets back in as if she had died in her sleep.
News of the violent attack comes as a shock to the small community. Police go door to door in Chatham, looking for eyewitnesses and potential suspects. While back at the crime scene, every inch of the Flam apartment comes under intense scrutiny.
Every time we seize a piece of evidence, whether it's a hair, a fiber, a cigarette butt, footwear impression, it's photographed. Everything that we found at the scene pointed, it was almost exactly to the way she described the scene, the way she was tied and what she was tied with, where the fire was started.
Police find a hair in the bedroom, and due to the sexual assaults, semen samples are recovered. But this evidence does not yet provide them with a name. As the days pass, no arrests are made, and concern grows through the region.
I don't know how to describe it really. It was a fear that gripped this whole community, not just the city of Miramichi, but the whole Miramichi watershed was certainly under threat.
Adding to the fear is the fact that two known criminals are on the loose. Although no evidence ties either to the scene, one of them is well known and has murdered before in a violent fashion. If he is behind this latest attack, residents may have the serial killer convictions.
There was an expectation that if it was this particular person, that the police would probably catch him very quickly. And unfortunately, that didn't occur.